Hello viewers, welcome to the Standard 10 subject science. In our previous video, we have started the chapter number 1 chemical reaction and equation. In this chapter, we have learned the physical and the chemical change and also have seen some activity. Activity number 1.1 and 1. Today in this video, we are going to learn the new topic of this chapter and which is the chemical equation. How can we build the chemical equation? We will learn today in this video. So let us start. On your screen you can see the figure. If you remember, this figure is of our activity 1.1. So can you remember the conclusion of this activity? Yes, this activity described as when a magnesium ribbon is burnt in oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. This description of a chemical reaction in a sentence form is quite long. It can be written in a shorter form. It is very long in a sentence form. So we can also use the shorter form, or the simplest way to do this is to write it in the form of a word equation. So, in the form of word equation. Now, let us understand what is word equation. A word equation is a chemical reaction expressed in words rather than chemical formulas. If we have any equation, then we are presenting that equation in word form. Then we can say that it is a word equation. It helps identify the reactants and the product in a chemical reaction. And the word equation also helps us to identify who are the reactants and who are the products in a chemical reaction. Now, what is reactant and what is product? Let us understand. The word equation for the above reaction, it means from our activity 1.1, we can write the word equation as magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. So, the substances that undergo chemical change in this reaction, magnesium and oxygen are the reactants. The new substance is magnesium oxide formed during the reaction as a product. This word equation shows change of reactants to products through an arrow placed between them. The reactants are written on the left hand side with a plus sign between them. Similarly, the products are written on the right hand side with a plus sign between them. If we have two products, then we can also write as with the plus sign. And the arrowhead points towards the products and show the direction of the reaction. And this arrow denotes the direction of the reaction. Next, now we will see the symbol of elements and their valences. If we have any word equation, then is there any shorter way for representing chemical equations rather than the word equation? Chemical equations can be made more concise and useful if we use chemical formula instead of words. So let us see what are the symbols of elements or what are the chemical formula for the elements. A symbol is the chemical code for an element. What is symbol? Symbol is the chemical code for an element. And how can we describe the chemical code or symbol of any element? Each element has one or two letter atomic symbol, which is the abbreviated form of its name. Let us understand by an example so we can easily understand the symbol of elements. For example, magnesium we will use Mg, capital of M and small of g. For the oxygen, we will use the capital O. So these are the symbols of magnesium and oxygen. Now, let us see what is valency. Valency is the combining capacity of an element. So that is the combining capacity of any element. It can be considered as the number of electrons lost or gained or shared by an atom. So how many electrons the element is losing or gaining or sharing. So that is the valency of that element whenever it combines with the another atom to form a molecule. For example, valency of oxygen will be 2 minus and the valency of magnesium will be 2 plus. Now we will understand how can we write a chemical equation in the symbolic form, or you can say in the chemical formula. So we have this word equation, which is magnesium plus oxygen implies or it gives magnesium oxide. In this reaction we have reactants as magnesium and oxygen and product as magnesium oxide. So as we have considered, the symbol of magnesium will be Mg plus oxygen O2 gives magnesium oxide, it means MgO. Here we have written this S, G and S. What do you mean by this S, G and S? Let us understand. You can say that this S, G and S are the physical quantity of the element. You can also use the word physical states. For solids, the symbol is used which is small of s. Here the magnesium is in solid form, so we will use the small s. For liquid, it is L. If we have any liquid form, then we will use L. For gases, it is G. For aqueous solution, it is AQ. So here are the physical states for the element. Next, let us see, for gas produced in the reaction, it is represented by the up arrow. If we have any reaction and in that reaction some gas is produced, then we will denote it by an up arrow. For precipitate formed in the reaction, it is represented by the down arrow. If the precipitate are used or are formed in the reaction, we will use the down arrow. So in this video we have learned how can we write the chemical equation in word form and in the symbolic form or in the chemical formula, and also learn the physical state of the element. Thank you.